In this episode of 10 Best Ones, we are going to check out the top 5 best laptops for Fortnite in 2018. I made this list based on my personal opinion, and I tried to list them based on their price, quality, durability and more. If you want to see the price and find out more information about these laptops, you can check out the links down in the description and the comment section below. Okay, so, let's get started with the video. At number 5, we have the MSI GL62M. The MSI GL62M would be a really good option for you, if you're looking for a powerful, mid-range 15.6-inch laptop that will make your Fortnite gaming sessions fluid and a way more entertaining, so let's hear why. From a design perspective, this laptop features an all-black plastic construction with red accents that are present along the vents, and the MSI logo that is positioned at the back of the lid. On the right flank, there is an SD card slot, a power jack, and a USB 2.0 port, while on the right, you can find an HDMI port with 4K support, an RJ45 port, one USB 3.0 Type-C, a mini display port, and two USB 3.0 ports, so I think that you can't ask for more considering its price tag. Moving on, this unit employs a highly responsive, red backlit keyboard made by SteelSeries, and according to the users, the keyboard delivers a superb tactile feedback, so you can respond adequately anytime you're engaged in a fight. In addition, the mousepad is responsive as well, however, I'd recommend you use an external mouse since gaming on a touchpad is quite difficult. Now, let's talk about the features. This particular model integrates an i5-7300HQ processor, 8GB of RAM, 256GB SSD, NVIDIA 1050 GTX with 2GB of onboard memory, which is more than enough to play Fortnite and other modern PC games smoothly. I would also like to inform you that the GL62M uses the Cooler Boost 4 technology, which will play a huge role to your gaming experience, because it will prevent throttle on one hand, while on the other, it will ensure that the heat will always be on an optimal level with the intention to make your gaming experience as good as possible. Finally, the 15.6-inch IPS screen has a maximum resolution of 1920 by 1080 pixels, so you can see sharp visuals with consistent color accuracy from virtually any angle. Overall, I strongly recommend you consider the MSI GL62M, if you're looking for a laptop that will maintain high FPS rate without spending thousands of dollars. Moving on, at number 4, we have the Lenovo Legion Y520. The Lenovo Legion Y520 is one of the most purchased gaming laptops on the market, and users are constantly purchasing it because of two reasons. The first is its price tag, which is actually very affordable, while the second is its specs that will let you have a lag-free gameplay. From a design perspective, the Y520 sports a plastic yet sturdy, matte black construction with a carbon pattern lid, so when you see it as a whole, this laptop does really have an aggressive, gaming appearance. In terms of the connectivities, this unit integrates one HDMI port, an SD card reader, two USB 3.0 ports, one USB 3.1 Type-C port, a gigabit Ethernet port and dual 2-watt speakers, which are relatively loud, but I'd recommend you use your headphones or external speakers. Moreover, when you open the lid, you will instantly recognize the red backlit keyboard with a key travel distance of 1.7 mm, which is quite good, since all of your gestures will be registered properly and the chances that you will ever miss a key are set to the minimum if not to zero. Slightly below the keyboard, there is the touchpad with a red border, which is suitable to the laptop's overall appearance, and even though the touchpad is responsive, I'd recommend you use an external mouse. But now, let's talk about the performance. The Y520 is armed with an i5-7300HQ processor, 8GB of RAM, a 256GB SSD, and a GTX 1050 Ti graphics, which guarantee stable FPS rate in Fortnite as well in many other games. I would also like to mention that this model has a 15.6-inch Full HD IPS screen that is covered with an anti-glare layer with the intention to make your gaming experience as realistic as possible, without getting distracted by the glares that may occur if you're exposed to a sun. Another great thing about this laptop is the fan system, which according to the users, is highly effective, so you can play for hours without feeling that the laptop is getting warm. To conclude, if you're looking for a laptop that combines powerful specs with a battery that can handle around 4 hours of intense gaming, then the Lenovo Y520 would be the one for you. Next up, at number 3, we have the Acer Predator Helios 300. The Acer Predator Helios 300 is a 15.6-inch laptop that combines a high refresh rate, VR capabilities, and an exclusive hardware into one piece, so let's get quickly into action in order to find out why you should consider this laptop. From a design perspective, the Helios 300 has an aluminum and plastic construction, with a black metal lid that houses 2 red stripes which flank the Predator logo, but you can notice the presence of red also at the touchpad, and the vents, so I think that you will love it. When it comes to the connectivities, this unit has plenty of them, such as a USB 3.1 Type-C port, an Ethernet port, an HDMI port, an SD card slot and a USB 3.0 port positioned on the left, while on the right, you can find a headphone jack, a pair of USB 2.0 ports, and a connection point for the power adapter. Moving on, the laptop's keyboard is a chiclet-style, iron red backlit with red accented WASD keys, which is pretty cool because if you're gaming at night, the most important keys will be highlighted so you will be more focused. On the other side, the touchpad is plastic surfaced, so you won't have any problems while web surfing, but I'd suggest you use an external gaming mouse for gaming purposes. Now, let's talk about the performance. This laptop integrates a 6-core, i7 8750H processor with up to 4.1 GHz, a GTX 1060 with 6 GB of dedicated VRAM, 16 GB of RAM and a 256 GB SSD, which means that you will not only have stable FPS rates, but you can also use this monitor for professional usage. Moreover, one of the biggest highlights about this unit is its 15.6-inch, Full HD IPS display with 300 nits of brightness, due to the fact that it has a refresh rate of 144 Hz, which means that your gaming experience is going to be breathtaking. Last but not the least, Acer rates the laptop's battery life at 7 hours, however, take in mind that gaming will drain the battery faster. To conclude, the Helios 300 deserves your attention because it has everything needed that guarantees a flawless gaming experience. Moving on, at number 2, we have the ROG Strix GL504 SCAR 2. The ROG Strix GL504 SCAR 2 is a fantastic, high-end gaming laptop that was released this year, so by default, this means that it comes equipped with the latest technologies that will guarantee you a fully immersive gaming experience. From a design perspective, the SCAR 2 has a very impressive exterior, starting from the light bar that is positioned on the front bottom, a brushed metal lid with an engraved ROG logo that will glow according to your preferences. Along the sides, there is a Kensington lock, an SD card reader, single mini display port 1.2, an HDMI 2.0 port, 3 USB 3.1 ports, 1 USB 3.1 Type-C port and a 3.5mm audio jack, which will ensure that you will never be restricted in terms of connectivity options. Moving on, once you open the lid you will notice that the keyboard deck has a rubber finish and 4 RGB zones, so you can adjust the lighting however you want. According to the users, the keys feel really smooth, so gaming or typing on this keyboard will be enjoyable. In addition, the touchpad surface has an accurate cursor tracking which does its job completely fine for everything, but for gaming, I'd suggest you use a gaming mouse. Now, let's talk about the features. This particular model is equipped with an i7 8750H processor, a GeForce GTX 1070 graphics card with 8 GB of RAM, 16 GB of RAM, 256 GB SSD, and 1 TB hard drive. Which means that you can play Fortnite and dozens of present and upcoming games with a stable FPS rate. Moreover, the 15.6-inch IPS display has a refresh rate of 144 Hz, and a response time of 3 milliseconds, which is truly amazing, due to the fact that the visuals you see will be realistic with numerous details and an excellent color accuracy. I would also like to add that the battery life is around 2 hours according to many users, which isn't a big deal since you can always take an advantage of your charger. Overall, the ROG Strix GL504 SCAR 2 is a must-have if you're looking for a laptop that has an impressive hardware and screen. And finally, at number 1, we have the ROG Zephyrus GX 501. The ROG Zephyrus GX 501 is a legit example of how should a premium gaming laptop look and perform like, due to the fact that this unit houses a G-Sync panel, powerful hardware and a quality keyboard that will offer you a premium feeling while gaming. From a design perspective, the GX 501 boasts a slim, aluminum and magnesium crafted body with a copper-colored rear edge that adds even more beauty to its overall appearance. At the back, you can notice the silver chrome finished ROG logo, while at the sides, there are 4 USB 3.0 ports, 1 HDMI 2.0 port, a headphone jack, a single Thunderbolt 3 port and a Kensington lock, so as you can see, you're going to be fully equipped in terms of connectivities. Moving on, the unit's interior consists of a spacious keyboard with large keys do not only have an RGB background illumination, but according to ASUS, they can handle up to 20 million clicks, which makes them exceptionally durable. But what got my attention the most regarding the interior is the Windows Precision trackpad, which is really responsive on one side, while on the other, it has a very neat feature that will let you transform the trackpad into a number pad that will look like an alien spacecraft. But now, let's talk about the performance. This particular model comes with 16 GB of RAM, 512 GB SSD, an Intel i7-8750H processor and a GTX 1080 with 8 GB of onboard memory, which is truly amazing since your gaming experience is going to be elevated to a whole new level. In addition, the 15.6-inch IPS G-Sync panel will offer you consistent colors from wide viewing angles, and what I really like about the screen is its refresh rate of 144 Hz and the response time of 3 milliseconds, which will ensure that you will never deal with motion blur and screen tearings. Finally, the battery life is rated at 2 hours, which isn't that long, but if we take into consideration its power-demanding components, then this may sound as something normal. To conclude, you should seriously consider the GX 501 as your next purchase, and if you ever decide to purchase it, you will be amazed of how quality it is. Thanks for watching, I hope you liked this video. If this video was helpful to you, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this in the future, and if you have any questions related to these laptops, you can leave a comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can.